We've been talking about customer experience, as you all know, for the last 2 days. Innovations across the globe. I don't know if any of you were in the panel that I was chairing last. We were talking about how the customer experience is moving away from just technology to actually bringing that technology into the hands of the consumer. So whether it's a company like Puma or Nike that is looking at what you're posting on Instagram to see what you want from fashion, or an H&M, we're now looking at how that customer experience can help in the entire process of designing, manufacturing, and sales. We've got a great panel that's going to be joining us today, and I'm going to start with Dr. GHS Prasad, Joint Director at NIFT, to start the session.
To all the industry experts, students, and academicians who are assembled here. So I know it is a very hectic day, and this is going to be the highlight of, at least highlight of the today's evening, I believe. I know all of you are tired, but eagerly looking forward to this presentation, this session, particularly because it is being by NIFT and NIFT Alumni Association. So particularly NIFT community is eagerly looking forward to this. So, and yes, I will not take much of the time because there are other panelists and other presentations also there. So I will quickly go through what is, the topic is the global innovations in retail area. So we all know that a lot of innovations are happening, and some of the industry experts may also be knowing about all these developments. So particularly, this is like a recapitulation of what is going on in the world, especially in retail innovations. So it is just a small recap of the things that are coming up latest. So let us go forward. So brick and mobile revolution. So many of us might have thought that brick and mortar retailing is now going out of date and it may not survive. But on the other hand, it is proving otherwise, and it is, we all know that omnichannel is going to take over in the years to come. It is already started. And also customer experience management is going to be revolutionized with the use of technologies, merging of technologies. So the brick and mortar is not going anywhere. It is going to be there, it is going to be strong, and it still commands 90% of the 90 cents of every dollar spent in retail across the world. But stores are being turned into hybrids that include a heavy e-commerce element. So now the brick and mortar, online, mobile, all the things are going to merge to give a great experience to the customers. And that is going to be the future. And it is already started by some of the flagship stores of the great brands across the world. Brands continue to look for ways to stand out in a more connected, on-demand, and personalized world. 71% of the shoppers access their mobile phones to read reviews and compare prices while navigating the aisle sales force. 53% of purchase decisions are digitally influenced. So though many of us are go online for reading reviews and comparing the prices and comparing the products, features, etc. But still all purchases may not be made online or not on the m-commerce platform. But still there are brick and mortar things are also going to be there. Tech-infused retail experience. Now the technology is going to play a major role in providing a greater experience in brick and mortar, where the mobile is going to play a key role and apps are also going to play a key role, where one can access what are the various products available in the stores through mobile, and they can take a decision. So that is going to be the greatest thing that is going to come out. And especially the recent advances for the last 1.5 years or 2 years is the self-service checkouts and self-service stores launched by Zara and Massimo Dutti and also the Nike. So these three brands are in the forefront of self-service stores. They have, Nike has launched in New York City, and Zara in London and Massimo Dutti in Barcelona. So they have already started this self-service stores, and they are going excellently. So self-service checkout machines provide a mechanism for customers to process their own purchases from a retailer. So they are an alternative to the traditional cashier staffed checkout. The customer performs the job of a cashier themselves by scanning and applying the payment. So 95% of the shoppers want to be left alone while shopping unless they want to employees' help. So this is a great thing that we as a shoppers, we would like to do it peacefully without any interference. We all know this. So this is again an extension of even to the checkout counters. So there are apps, there are mechanisms where the Nike, Zara and Massimo Dutti have introduced self-service checkouts. So you through app, through interface mechanisms, you can check out. There is no cashier. There is nobody to interfere. You yourself can do it. And many of us who prefer that we are not interfered, we are not being guided by somebody. So they all like this mechanism. So Nike's digital retail integration. So Nike has launched what is now has become a famous, the Nike House of Innovation 000. This is a call to an origin, a center point for what flagship store can be for its city. So there is a lot of technology integration into the brick and mortar store, and the promise of living retail comes to life on each floor, and groundbreaking features offer spaces, experiences, customer experiences that are both personal and responsive. Throughout, consumers can enjoy services that are deeply customizable and effortlessly smart and seamless. So by using the Nike app in the stores, customers can access numerous features that have been created to streamline the brick and mortar shopping experience. So it will further streamline the brick and mortar shopping experience. So the use of technology has been revolutionized here. Features allow shoppers to check if their local store has the product they want in size and reserve the product. So they can check what is the product available, if what they are looking for is available, and they can even reserve that product. So that is again is possible through Nike app. Consumers can go online, see a product availability within 50-mile radius of where they are, and can put the item on reserve. Nike Scan is a self-service feature for someone who knows where they want, what they want, and want to get in and out of the store without any hassle. So it will enable self-service checkout. So whatever you want, you can reserve, you can go and you can pick up, and you can check out on your own. So the member unlocks is an extension of Nike Plus membership, giving members an access to exclusive services. So deals and products throughout the Nike app. Member Unlocks also offers in-store pant alterations and counter delivery of purchases. So instant checkout is a feature available in the Nike New York City currently, and they are going to expand slowly world over. It enables customers to scan a product and check out via app. So let us have a look at this Nike House of Innovation.
So this place is called the House of Innovation, and one of the reasons why it's called that is because it was designed with Nike's mobile app in mind. Nike says this is the example of what the store of the future looks like, and one of the things it's doing, it's bringing in a lot of aspects from its app into a physical space. What that means is you can do things like instant checkout, which lets you sort of grab any item in the store, pull up the Nike mobile app and check out without even talking to any members of the staff. Apple is another company that has similar features in its retail stores, but they don't do it for every product, whereas Nike will have every product in its store available for instant checkout on its app. Another couple cool things Nike is doing is letting you use the app to scan items in the store and then have a member of the staff bring them to you. So you can scan a shoe, pick your size, and then somebody will bring it to you and then you can try it on. There are different kiosks and areas throughout the store where a member of the back of the house will bring you the shoe. That way they're not out searching for you. Similarly, you can also pull up the Nike Plus app, go up to a mannequin, scan a barcode that's on the mannequin, and then it'll bring up the entire list of the mannequin's outfit. You can then pick between items or pick the entire outfit if you want to try it on. It's it's actually kind of cool because a lot of the times you go into a store, look at the mannequin, and then you sort of forget about it. Here, if you like a piece, you can scan it on your app and then try it on if you like. There are a couple of DIY components to the store as well, so you can custom design things like hoodies and jackets. So say you like this Nike black hoodie, but you want a red pocket on it, you can then work with the designer and have that done for you, and then you can get it in like a day or two, sometimes a week, depending on how much you tweak the design itself. If you want to go full DIY though, Nike does have a special collection of shoes, including the Air Jordan 1 and the Zoom Fly 2, which you can deep dye, and you can also tweak things like the swoosh, the shoelaces, all different colors in whatever material you want. One of the crazier things about the store is that even the floors and the walls are customizable. So if Nike's launching a basketball product, they can remove the tiles that are in there right now and then put a mini basketball court on it. So the entire store is 68,000 square foot, and at the very bottom of it, there's the Speed Shop. The Speed Shop is a data-driven space where Nike is using what it knows about shoppers in the New York area to put items out there. So New Yorkers, for example, may like a specific model of running shoes or running shorts or sweatpants, and they can just come in, grab it, do instant checkout, and go. Another option, if they don't want to do instant checkout, they can reserve it from the Nike Plus app and then pick it up from a locker room with their name on it in the Speed Shop. Overall, this 68,000 square foot retail store is pretty crazy, and with all the talk of retail dying, Nike's showing that that doesn't have to be the case. You can read more about the store on Engadget.com.
And these are the things which are going to come slowly across the world. Then Zara's augmented reality stores. Zara also is ahead of in retail innovations. So Zara aims to show models wearing the latest fashions to customers when they put their mobile devices near a sensor within its brick and mortar stores. So this is again the strengthening the brick and mortar with the technological innovations. Zara plans to integrate this technology to 120 of its locations around the world. And Zara also is ahead in starting self-service for the selfie generation. To be able to have the beat the queue option, Zara introduced self-service checkout. Yeah, just 1 minute. So customers can also pick up orders placed online from the nearest stores. So it is again a similar thing where they have self-service innovations for the Zara stores also, and they are committed to the new technologies. Again, another brand which is also into this is Massimo Dutti, where they have introduced this in their flag store in Barcelona. So these are the things, latest retail innovations that are being started by these leading brands of the world, and you can look forward to these innovations to diffuse to India very soon. So now I have been told the time is over, and so I also give credit to Ms. Kanika Mathur of MFM NIFT Hyderabad for putting up this PPT. So I thank all of you, and I thank India Fashion Forum for giving me this opportunity. So with this, I will close. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you. Quick question for everyone in the audience. Can you see me where I'm standing? You can. Can you see the color of my hair?
You really want that answer?
Yeah, because I'm leading somewhere. I'm leading somewhere. And don't give me any shit or I'll cut you off at 2 minutes. Okay, guys, do me a favor. You see other people in the audience with the color of my hair generally means that we're old. We can't stand very much longer. So if you can, all those old guys in the back over there, can you give them a couple of seats, please? Yeah, give them seats. Because that one, oh look, everyone's getting up. Not all of you, for God's sake, just two. Okay, next up, also from NIFT, we've got Dr. Srinivasa Rao.
Distinguished panel members, other respected industry fraternity, dear delegates, I guess my presentation, I hope, going with the theme of global innovations. I hope this presentation may put things into perspective so that the coming up panel discussion will be more lively. Thank you. Just to see the perspective. Well, the Silk Road, thanks to silk, the feather hat has led to the sanctuaries, the national wildlife refuges, the sanctuaries, the medical textiles, the whole industry. This is all thanks to, that way if you see the whole human development, fashion is part and parcel of it. Just moving forward to the perspective, if you see currently what are the global challenges that we are facing, be it in terms of the uncertainties, in terms of the climate change, resource crunch, vulnerable economic conditions, changing consumer behaviors, and so on. Given these challenges, I think therefore fashion prospectively should also look into them and then try and ensure that our future is well safeguarded and environment is well taken care of and the customers are served better, and therefore the other vendors and all the entire stakeholders are therefore taken care of. Now, just want to kind of give a highlight of some of these interesting recent past innovations. If we look at in the context of garments, interestingly, this gentleman, Ryan Yasin, what he did, he understood the fact that, among the children between the age groups of 6 months to 36 months, the children grow faster and therefore you need to buy more apparel. So instead, therefore, he came up with this interesting innovation which got the, James Dyson UK award as well. Kind of wealth from waste. Viviana Uchtel in South America, and interestingly, the transformers, another interesting innovation, essentially made for the Syrian refugees, can get transformed into from that of a waterproof and recyclable garment to that of carry personal belongings and can be used as a jacket, can be expanded to be a tent. Wonderful innovations. From a interesting point of view of the taking care of the environment, if you look at the algae apparel, perhaps, as we can see. As we know, the beautiful industry that fashion industry is, despite the fact that probably the other side of the story is that it is also among the most polluting industries in the world. But then, yes, there are answers. Perhaps algae apparel is just one case in point. And Alga Life came up with this wonderful apparel, which essentially is not only renewable but biodegradable aquatic organism, which can also help in terms of reducing the pollution aspect, because it's a friendly dye as well, environmentally friendly dye as well. As you can see, in various ways, it can reduce the carbon footprint as well. And obviously, wonderful such innovations do get good awards. And yes, the supply chain gets cyclical, and therefore it helps the environment as well as the issues which we raised in the beginning of the global economies. From the textiles point of view, our own designer, Rahul Mishra, came up with this inspiration wherein, fabric of wool that can be worn throughout the year. If you can see, that's a wonderful thing. So therefore, as we can see, Rahul Mishra has also won the International Woolmark Prize. perhaps another Karl Lagerfeld is on the horizon, right? And in terms of processes, as we can see, there are plenty of other things: machines on demand, unspun zero-waste production. They can provide machines and customized apparel they can make, especially in the context of the denim wear. We have Adrienne Norris and Edwina Forrest helping the traditional craftsmen in terms of the, helping that way the growth of the craftsmen as well. In terms of the orange culture, the Africa, we have various support projects going on. And in conclusion, I just want, if we have time, I guess, one small video. Do we have? Yeah, we don't have. So, in just conclusion, I just want to say, I think there are plenty of, see, a lot of times when we go in our life, if we look back, I think we find that a lot of things in our life, we felt that it was a given. I mean, it's part of the trend and we were wearing a lot of dresses accordingly. But then if we see, these are all thanks to the various innovations. In terms of prospective thing, I would say and conclude is this, that if any one of us now visit the airport in Denver, I mean in US, Denver airport, we will find that an interesting humanoid is kept there. And you can see that the humanoid can, through the facial recognition, and it's a combination of the artificial intelligence as well as the machine learning. So they came up and then it greets everybody, and then, it's a wonderful experience. And so therefore, I think there are tremendous prospects are there. And with these few words, I would like to conclude and thank all of you.
We have Dr. Ruchika Pawar.
I'm Dr. Ruchika from NIFT Jodhpur. I would like to thank, first of all, the IFF team to give me this opportunity to speak about global innovation. So in this, I would like to say about guns and corsets. So we all know about corsets, and we all know about guns, yes. And today I'm going to talk about how this new technology, we are talking about the fashion and the technology, when they intersect, we talk about that is innovation. So down the line, I'll just tell that what exactly I'm talking about. First of all, what is fashion? Fashion is storytelling through clothing, story behind them, cultural influences, backstory or intellectual touch points. You can also say that it is escape the mundane, embrace the and celebration tradition. And what is fashion innovation? Fashion innovation take place at the intersection of fashion and technology. So going down the lane, if I start with the corset, that is in 1980s, the corsets was considered as a very elegant and desirable object in women's wardrobe, and much attention paid to its design and execution. I would just like to tell you that execution, what I mean to execution, that there was 50 strings behind the corset, which each strings had to be pulled to make the lady look straight and elegant. But soon as its negative impact was observed in the form of health problems and deformed body shapes, for good, it got to fade out of the fashion. And what bad things was going on in the internal organs of the female, that is, internal organs became deformed and taking deep breaths it became impossible, whether a woman was wearing a corset or not, because of the deformity of the rib cage. The negative effect of wearing a corset were broken ribs and infertility in women. So you can just see that women were fainting out, whether they are wearing the corsets or not, deformities in the infants, sorry. So there's one type of corsets which shows that they wanted to show the heavy bosom part, the upper part, female upper part, and hourglass glass shape, which is going to, which they want to highlight the lower part of the female. This is a journey what corset has traveled. Now I'm talking about the fashion innovation, the functional corset. The functional corset means how that corset been redesigned by Corset, a designer, because purses are for lipsticks. Why? I'll just tell you. Anna Corset, I would like to introduce Anna Corset first of all. She is founder and CEO of brand Dean Adams, professional firearm trainer and designer of Dean Adams concealed carry corset. If I go with her journey, that how she had come up in this idea, for this idea, being she was very quiet and a very reserved girl, but she'd been raped thrice in between 13 years to 18 years, thrice by different person at different places, and that then she moved to other city, which is again a very rough city. With a fourth child on the way, Anna finally decided to buy a gun for her. After failing to find a workable concealed carry solution for this weapon, Anna created her own holster. Pleased with her makeshift design in 2013, the young entrepreneur founded Dean Adams. So this is journey. After looking the women's market for years, the firearms industry now sees women as the driver of growth. Women have led the change, both as consumers and as entrepreneurs in the world of accessories, forcing gun makers to follow their lead. Entrepreneur and fashion designer Anna Taylor tried to bring back the corset. Taylor created her own company, Dean Adams, upon growing a deep need over the lack of holsters for women. She sewed a neoprene, which is resistant to heat, water, and heat and water. Neoprene mouse pad for her corset for her first prototype. Taylor now has a lineup of 13 holsters under the brand Dean Adams. We all know that women, if you see around ourselves, we can see that ladies are wearing variety of clothes. We wear sari, we wear kurti pajami, we could wear pants, we wear skirts, and that lead to the corsets to be very innovative. That is, we can say the functional innovation in it. I'm completing. Because there's a need of, the crime rate are increasing, we really need the functional corset to keep our guns. Quickly, I'll just show you the video that why we have not come up with a
harsh, stiff elastic that actually rolls and digs when you sit. And another thing too is I already have enough issues as a woman to try and stay smooth below the rubber band and above the rubber band, like the back fat.
We cannot bend
issue.
by wearing this kind of elastic band.
Another potential safety issue is trigger protection or retention.
The trigger protection.
So
in this kind of belts, we don't have the trigger protection.
And if it's this uncomfortable, honestly, you're not going to wear it. You're not going to.
So with the application of this, this is a functional corset. And this is the, these are the few functional corset pictures where I have one thing I would like to tell you, that because variety of clothes we wear, the variety of garments we wear, women, and there's a practice to take out the gun from different parts, because one day we are wearing skirts, so we need to have holsters in our short pants. Then another day we are wearing leggings. We need to have something around our belt which need to be there, and we can take out our guns from there. So there is a need of different type of holsters. It's completed. Thank you so much. So there's a need that tangible approach of functional garment, and this is not only the time when we talk about ladies' garment as a part which enhance her beauty, but yes, we need to talk about her safety and much above than this. At the end, I would like to thank my two very smart students, Aparna and Suruchi, for helping me in these slides. Thank you so much.
Take a quick poll in the room over here. How many women here wear corsets? No one. How many of you carry guns? Because if you do, would you please hold your hand up so I know just how far to stay away from you for the rest of the evening? All right, next up we've got Dr. Susheel Raturi.
Yeah. The last presentation, the last session, last day. I am tempted to ask you one question. How is the Josh? How is the Josh? Normally in these circumstances, there are 4 situations that happens. How much time I have?
5 minutes, sir.
Oh, but this won't be counted in 5 minutes? Okay, okay. So thank you for giving me those extra 2 minutes. So there are 4 situations normally that happens in these type of conferences on the last day. There is a mental situation which we call as Josh, and then there is something which is called as Hosh. Third is Khamosh, and fourth is Behosh. I hope all of you are not Behosh, you are not Khamosh, you are still in Hosh, or you are full of Josh. So assuming that you guys are full of Josh, and the topic of the session is customer experience, so I am tempted to talk about customer experience, which I have taken it as a fashion innovation. I would not be looking too much into the PPT. I would rather look into the eyes of the audience, and I believe all the audience, 80% of the audience is NIFT student, NIFT faculty. Is that so? Yes. Oh, very good. So some of you would have been exposed to these slides. So rather we will talk about something else. What I'm going to talk about here is experiential marketing. And we all know that in today's time, no business model is based on 7 Ps. Life has moved quite faster than those 7 Ps concepts. And customer wants something more. Now when we say something more, what exactly is something more? This something more is basically experiences. And customers' experience is something that every retailer, every brand is trying to offer. Now, when we talk about customer experiences, retailers have realized that customer experience needs to be such that it is emotional, it ignites them, it excites them, it dazzles them, and it touches them emotionally. Normally, there are various models which are available in customer experience, and one of the models that I'm going to do present the finding is Smith's model of customer experience, which talks about 5 types of experience. A brand or a retailer can create 5 different types of experience. He can create experience either through senses. You ignite the senses, and we all know the 5 senses. So either you create an experience in your brand, in your in-store through those 5 senses, or you create experience in the store using emotions, using emotional appeal. So that the moment you see that there is a brand or there is a garment or there is a product which says that X% of whatever money that you're going to pay for this product will go to a particular charity, or it will go to a particular individual for the welfare of that particular segment of the society, you emotionally get attached. So that is another type of experience that you can create. And this is not what I'm saying. This is something has been said by a guru of experiential marketing called Smith. Then the third type of experience you can create is creative cognitive experience. Now, creative cognitive experience is something where customer, along with the brand, creates, and he is a co-creator. I'll just give you an example. If the organizers allow me to quote a small example, there is a place in Maharashtra called Miraj. Now, there the musical instruments are created. So the singers or the artist or the people who play drums or guitar or sitar, they go to that place and they sit with these artists, the craftsmen, and they create those santoor or they create those guitar. Now, these type of product, when it is created, there is an experience, and this is what is called as creative cognitive experience. So I can create a creative cognitive experience, and I'm sure then you will always be loyal to me. The fourth type of experience that exists is called as a social identity experience, which millennials, youth, people like you relate to, because somebody who buys or experiences a product, you share your experience, and then the third person buys it on the basis of your experience. So that is called a social identity experience. So I can also create a social identity experience for you guys. The fifth type of experience is called as physical act experience. Wherein you buy that product, either you pay or you get a free sample, and then because of it, your lifestyle changes. And then you get that experience, and then you realize that I have reached a different type of level, and then you probably tend to buy that particular brand. So this model says that there are 5 ways of creating experience. Now my research says that, what is the research has just started, boss. My research says, my research says that out of these 5 experiences, which is the most important experience which will force the customer to buy a product? And then I conducted a primary data collection, and I found out through 1,200 sample size ranging from 18 to 50, male, female, professionally working people who are professionally qualified, because these are the people who will appreciate experiences. Now, when we interviewed these people through a structured questionnaire method, and then when we analyzed using some statistical tool, which are t-test, z-test, chi-square test, now I'm throwing some heavy words so that you guys are impressed. Using these tests, we found out that sensory experiences in apparel purchase does not influence customer purchase. It might influence his purchase intention, but it will not lead to him to buy that product. In the same way, emotional experiences will also have no impact on the customer purchase. But the research finding says that creative, cognitive, social identity, and physical act experiences, if you create these type of experience, customer will definitely come and buy your product. And he will not only buy your product, but he will become a repeat customer. He will come back to you. He will not only come back to you, but he will become a loyal customer. And not only loyal customer, but he will tend to become your brand advocate. Now, this also depends on 2-3 things. For fast fashion brand, maybe a sensory experience might be important. For a sustainable brand, some other experiences might be important. I am leaving at this point of time with a question saying that which age group will appreciate which type of experience. So there are lots of data which are available with me. In some other platform, probably if I get more time, I will share those research findings. So at this point of time, I'm just saying a very good evening and thank you for listening to me patiently. And I still hope that you guys are full of Josh. How is the Josh? Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so we don't have time for a panel discussion, unfortunately. While we have the panelists all here, we'll have to forego a panel, but I do want to put the question. One question is, how many of you here are currently NIFT students? Please raise your hands. NIFT faculty as well, please raise your hands. Okay, so we can label this place NIFT and let the others, whoever is not, okay, can you please raise your hands? It's easier to count probably. Not NIFT faculty, not current NIFT student. Okay, fine, okay. So I'm going to ask this question to maybe 2-3 mics can be passed around. Amongst all the presentations that you saw, was any one thing which struck your imagination, which struck it as scariest, or which struck it as a great opportunity which you should be looking at from your business perspective? Anyone?
Sir said there's something.
Abhishek, can you stand up?
In the first presentation, sir said something that technology is, awesome. But the facts what he presented was leading to a lot of job losses. I just want some light on that. How are we going to cope with that? Because technology is taking out all those people who are selling it. Now you are scanning it with the mobile, and whatever is happening, it's creating a lot of job losses. So are we ready to address that?
So
at least once it is, it's online shopping, people, at least there's a person who's coming and delivering it.
I think Mr. Prasad was the one who made the presentation. So do you want to respond to that?
Yes, these technological inventions, they are also disruptive. That means the existing processes will be disruptive. That means the low skill jobs like cashier and those who are handling checkout counters, they will definitely lose jobs. And those with high skills, those who can do programming, those who can develop technologies, which will create these kind of technologies, they will be in demand. They will get more and more jobs. There will be some people, some set of people will be losing jobs, some set of people who will be gaining employment. So we have to see whenever there is a technological disruptions, you have to see what are the kind of the skills that you have to develop.
So I'm not satisfied, sir, because it is creating a lot of imbalance in the society. Only technology people should get the job, and the rest people who don't know the technology, they don't have a job, is not fair.
That fair, unfair is a different thing. So when Uber and Ola came, the traditional taxi drivers they are all making hue and cry. But it has benefited the customers. It has benefited some people who are ready to adopt those technologies. And slowly, those who are not so educated, they are also now they are adapted to this. The drivers, they are adapted to this kind of technology application, use of this. They have to learn that technology. They have to learn that skill. Otherwise, they will be at the losing end. So whenever there are technological disruptions, technological developments, it will disrupt the existing processes, existing skills. Some skills will go out of demand. Some skill will come in more, will be demand.
So the message to the NIFT students here is echoed. You remember what I mentioned yesterday morning if you were there in the hall for the first session. Learn how to milk cows, learn how to plant potatoes, learn how to cook food, because your skills that you're developing today in your academics and in your internships and everything else are going to be outdated very soon. Whatever you've been taught, if you've been there for 2 semesters, 3 semesters, whatever you've been taught is going to be out of date. You don't want to be out of a job, please learn to learn new skills. That's the most basic thing you need to learn. And don't get too caught up in technology. I would agree with Abhishek there. Technology is something which is, yes.
I'm from the 1990 batch of NIFT, and with my experience so far, I'd like to add that I agree with Devanshu. Learn to learn new things all the time. There is enough opportunity and scope that is available at hand if you are creative. There is sustainability, which is the buzzword, but not because you're supposed to be sustainable. Do it because you find opportunity in it. And I think that is immense. Yeah, so I agree with you. And I'm not technologically savvy, but that doesn't mean I'm out of business.
Yeah. Next, anybody else who has... Yeah.
So, hi, I'm a 2000 pass out from NIFT. So, what I would like to say, I think this has been traditionally happening. It's not like this would happen with technology. I think traditionally if you would see, there was a demand for people who, for men who used to come with a lot of muscles and all those things. So when JCB and all those things, this has been happening all the way. So even if you see typewriter, people who used to use typewriter, they're gone. So I think it's a fear of something unknown. So, especially in our kind of industry, I don't think, because when we are in a buying field, so a lot of you will get into buying, merchandising, quality, supply chain. I think a lot of skill set which you acquire, I think that still will be there. So artificial intelligence will come, but I think your touch and feel, those kind of skill set which you have acquired during the course or maybe during your experience and on the job, I think that is still going to be there.
Anybody else picked up any other point which scared the hell out of you? You can pass the mic. Just go.
So I want to add that the person who are not evolving with the changing time will be at the losing end.
So I'd like to just interrupt. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
One point, and I don't want to get into a social debate about this, but we are in this room wearing very nice clothes and shoes in an AC environment, are very blasé about the impact of our actions. We think it does not make an impact. There are people on the streets of Paris burning cars because they don't have jobs. That can happen in this country of 1.3 billion people. And it will happen in a very, very negative way. So don't be so blasé about the impact of technology and the loss of jobs. Please. You need to be aware. You need to make sure that skills are driven down to the lowest level of the society. Okay? If you have a point to make, please do.
Sir, I want to make a point that if it's no doubt that somebody will lose the job, but at the other end, we need developers to develop the technology.
How many developers are needed to develop an AI, a machine learning program?
Sir, I don't know, sir.
50 people, 100 people, 500 people?
Yes, sir.
It's not 500,000 people.
But still, sir, in a other way...
It's a very crucial point. Please think about it a little bit. Yeah, are you a student or are you working?
I'm a student, sir.
If you don't get a job when you pass out of NIFT, what happens?
Sir, I will struggle.
Are you mad about it or are you okay about it? Some people will get it, some people won't get it.
I will get mad, I will...
Exactly.
That's it.
Please think about it.
Can I one point, please?
Let me add some conceptual clarity on this. Steve Jobs says, innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. A lot of companies have chosen to downsize, and maybe that was the right thing for them. We chose a different path. Our belief was that if we kept putting great products and innovate in front of customers, they would continue to open their wallets. There are two dimensions to the innovation. For the fashion field, we have to understand that we are not talking about innovation. We are talking in terms of innovation in the sense of introducing new products. There is a difference between invention and innovation. Invention is something we are bringing a new product which is not there. Innovation is something which we have to bring in improvements in terms of the products, adding features or making it for new uses. We have three streams in fashion: design, technology, and management. In terms of design, we always take inspiration from the nature and existing things. So we almost all the time we would be innovating. Now, in terms of the current changes that are happening, the mere invention of innovation adds value to the business, because the innovation need not be always in terms of a new product itself. The innovation can be in terms of bringing changes in terms of the business processes or technology or business model itself. So we have to understand that in that perspective. And any innovation, somebody was saying that innovation might make the people to lose jobs. It will create somewhere else jobs. Because if the innovation is not accepted, there are certain features that are required. It has to be usable, it has to be observable, and it has to have a practical sense. When it is not there, consumers will reject it. And with continuing that, even in education, NIFT has brought some innovation in terms of the education systems. We have brought a lot of changes in curriculum, and we have brought in specializations, and also we have introduced interdepartmental minors. And as Ms. Devangshu was saying, we are also making students to learn general subjects, which would make them more relevant to the industry. So I want to throw that conceptual clarity on innovation and inventions. Sorry for interrupting, Mr. Devangshu.
Okay. We are many of you are NIFTians. So I'd just like to reintroduce the NIFT Alumni Association, the Association of NIFT Alumni. Anand Jain is the president. Rohit Luthra is the secretary. Some of the founding members, Sataj, Sarita, would you get up? So some of the members, Gaurav. Yeah. So there are some people here who have been members for a long time, for the last 4 or 5 years. And I would like to take a quick poll. How many of you are based in Mumbai? Okay, so Gaurav and Sarita would be your go-to people. Sartaj is also there. He's in and out of Mumbai. These people are based in Mumbai. They would be interacting with you guys. If you haven't already registered on the NIFT Alumni website, please do that. Can you show me your phones? Everybody hold up your phones. Open up the browser if you want. It's niftalumni.org. The website is niftalumni.org. Go and register there. We've also... Do you want to talk about the
There is going to be a free membership for... There's going to be a free membership for 1 year for all these passing out students now. So avail the offer for a year.
Whoever is the current student passing out this year, you will get a 1-year free membership if you register now. If you register later, I can't guarantee that, but if you register anytime soon.
All.
Yeah.
So any members right now among? Only 2 among all.
Very reluctant. No, sorry, you guys should have stood up here. Yeah? Come on.
Come on.
No, please come here. I mean, you guys have been active.
Better.
I think all NIFT faculty who are alumni, they should also register. I would request all the NIFT faculty who are alumni, please come here and join the gang, and then you will become the member also. No, please come. If you are enrolled, then come.
Yeah, so there are actually, Lippy is also a member. She was nicely sitting down there. Please. So there are, obviously, I mean, we have a representative set here. It's not an exhaustive set. There are lots of people here, lots of people in Mumbai who are members who are not in this room. So on their behalf, there's a lot of action planned by this group, and you guys should get on to the website as quickly as possible. If you are not receiving the newsletters, you'll start receiving those and you'll get information about that, right? Any questions, please feel free to ask. You can pass the mic around if you want. Any questions about the alumni NIFT linkage? Why do you charge 5,000 rupees? Anything? Yeah. Yeah, please.
The agenda, if you can work out an agenda, year-on-year agenda, and we work out a platform wherein the Alumni Association and NIFT can join hand and start working on such type of conferences. That is something I think we need to... No, we don't want. Images is definitely part of that. That would be there. We'll be part of IFF, we will be part of IRF. But apart from these 2 platforms, we also need to create a identity in terms of our own identity by organizing such type of conferences. I'm not saying that IFF is out. I'm so sorry if somebody has taken it like that. But I think we need to look at that thing also.
Rohit, you want to say something?
I think there is enough, quite a few of us in Mumbai, and we'll be very happy to help the current students, whether it is having these kind of discussions, coming to college and talking about their design processes, or giving them guidance on, where it goes from here. And I think it's important, guys, get the real picture. Yeah? Life is different outside college. There's no rosy, I don't want to make you wear any tinted glasses. You got to work hard.
No, I think, first of all, be optimistic. Life is pretty good outside, I believe that. And, really work hard and achieve what you want to achieve. There's no limit to what you want to do. But try and, have bigger dreams, be realistic, but really have big dreams. If you don't have big dreams, you will go nowhere.
I agree with him, but this is the teacher and me talking. And
That's good, yeah. But I would always say go for a kill. Go for a kill. Otherwise it doesn't work. You'll be very average out. So never consider yourself as an average student. Go out. Go. There are big things. There are a lot of things. Don't be scared of technology. I was. Before I shifted to Bombay, I used to sign my checks. I learned everything because I knew it's a necessity now. So I am completely clued on to technology now. I wasn't. Very, very reluctant. I had a secretariat office. Those kind of privileges. And she used to do everything for me. So when I was on my own and life changes, technology is beautiful. It works very well for you. So I was just listening to what he's saying. So world is full of opportunities, amazing opportunities. Just do well, but be on top of it.
No, just to clarify, I'm not a technophobe, okay? I co-founded an internet-enabled supply chain solutions business in 2000. Okay, so I'm not a technophobe by any means, but I think you need to be realistic. I think Sataj has made a good point that you need to be positive. I don't think you should be constrained in your thinking. I think that's the big thing. Don't be constrained in your thinking. I mean, the reason I keep saying about, learn how to milk a cow and stuff like that is just putting it lightly. think beyond whatever you're taught in the institution. I think the world is much bigger. If you look at the alumni of NIFT and where they are working today, you'll be surprised at the mix. I think NIFT faculty will be surprised at the mix, at the impact that alumni from NIFT are making across different sectors. My business partner in one of the businesses he actually runs an internet data center out of Gurgaon, right? Sorry?
I want to tell you, when I passed out, I started a unit of my own. I was a fashion design student, a qualified designer. I had my own unit. I did for about 9 years women's wear, and then for another 10 years theater styling for children. Then went on to become a professor at Pearl Academy. Wrote fashion styling, image design as a career. Nurtured it, then went to Amazon in quality assurance, and today I work at Edelweiss Financial Services. So I agree with you, but there's opportunity everywhere, and that's why I say be real. Because look out for what you can do and where you can add value. There's always opportunity around the corner.
You guys want to add something?
So if I tell you about my story, I am a software engineer. Then I did FMS from NIFT. Then I was with jewelry industry, then fashion business, and right now I'm running my own ad agency. So a lot of opportunities are there. You can switch anytime. Don't.
Okay, I generally don't disclose it. I'll disclose. I was flying with Indian Air Force. I was a chopper pilot, and I was the oldest guy in my class. Okay, and I left flying in 91 because I realized you fly same choppers for the next 20 years and it's not going to excite me. And that was one of the biggest decisions in my life. 4 years I kept struggling. I knew I'll take 4 years. And then I decided to do fashion. That's what I loved. And then their journey has been like crazy and it's been interesting. So you can't be scared. It's the mind what you need to really think big and please do whatever you want to do. Then it works. Otherwise it doesn't work.
Just so that we were talking about your own experiences in the past, is there any database that the students can access about all the alumni of the NIFT? That where are they and where they were in the past? All right.
No, so I have a short answer to that. Sure. The website itself has been built with functionality. It's not the greatest website in the world. It's not Facebook or it's not LinkedIn, but it's built in with functionality to network. So if you become a member, if you are a full member, you have access to searching other members' profiles. You can network with them. You can write messages. You can post messages about job searches, sourcing, etc., which is something which people are just about beginning to discover. Yeah. So you'll need to take a little bit of trouble. You'll need to set up your own profile, and you'll need to actually go and search. But that's a database which is building. Okay. NIFT does not have a whole database of all the students who've passed out. Remember that.
All right.
So nobody has. If NIFT doesn't have, nobody has. It's scattered. So I'm saying it's not in one place, right? So it will get built up. Yeah, I'm the first batch of NIFT passed out in 89. It's 30 years. 30 years since NIFT students have been passing out. Mm-hmm. And this year the alumni body would be 30,000. Mm-hmm. So it's a big, big number. And I think it's time that NIFT students started plugging into that. And NIFT alumni started plugging into that network, right? And there's a benefit, I think, both ways, to alumni, to the institution, and of course to the industry as well. Yeah? Anybody else? Okay, so I think we'll call it a wrap, and we'll head to the big hall, which is for Solo X. Yeah? Thank you.